So, when explaining your child's diagnosis to family and friends, it's really important to remember that your child is at the center of this, and this is their identity. And try to be as respectful as possible of your child. So, oftentimes, I will give my child the opportunity to speak for himself, and that would be dependent, of course, on verbal skills and development. But anytime they can be involved in the conversation is so helpful. This is their identity and this is who they are. So I like to use person first language. And I explain it very, very much the same that I explain it to my children. You know, everybody's brain works differently. This is the way his brain works. And that it's nothing to be ashamed of or embarrassed about. And some things are easier and some things are harder, and we are all just different and unique. I think it's important whenever possible to encourage children to know that they're in charge of their own story, and that if they are not comfortable with sharing their story with people, that they don't have to, and they can just say no thank you. I also think it's really good to give them the opportunity to do that if they want.